Welcome to the era of the luxury modern farmhouse paired with the ultimate garage and workshop. This is no longer just a house with a garage attached to it. This is a highly engineered, purpose-built compound. It is a property designed for the person who demands flawless white quartz countertops inside the house and flawlessly polished, oil-resistant polyaspartic floors out in the shop. Today, we are going to take an incredibly deep dive into the architecture, the engineering, and the specific amenities required to execute this massive project correctly. We will explore how to visually link a massive garage to a luxury home without it looking like a commercial warehouse, how to engineer the perfect workshop, and how to create an estate that truly offers the absolute best of both worlds.
Before we step inside the shop, we have to understand why the modern farmhouse aesthetic is the absolute perfect vehicle for this specific type of build. If you attempt to attach a massive 4,000 square foot garage to a traditional Mediterranean villa or classic Victorian home, the proportions will look completely absurd. The garage will visually swallow the house, making it look like a commercial mechanic shop accidentally dropped into a residential neighborhood. The modern farmhouse style solves this proportional nightmare perfectly. Why? Because historically, a farm is not a single building, it's a collection of structures. A traditional farm consists of a main house, massive barns, silos, and equipment sheds, all unified by similar materials and roof lines. The human eye is already culturally conditioned to accept a massive barn-like structure sitting right next to a farmhouse. By utilizing the modern farmhouse aesthetic, architects can design an absolutely colossal garage and workshop and seamlessly disguise it as a beautiful high-end barn. They use the same crisp white board and batten siding, the same steep gable roof pitches, and the same black-framed architectural windows on both structures. The result is not a house with an oversized garage, but a stunning, cohesive architectural compound that looks entirely intentional, balanced, and deeply rooted in the landscape.
When you are building a workshop of this magnitude, a place where you will be cutting wood, grinding metal, running air compressors, and starting engines, you absolutely must consider the transfer of noise, fumes, and dust. If you directly attach a heavy-duty workshop to the main wall of a luxury home, the vibration and the smells will inevitably bleed into the living spaces, destroying the peaceful sanctuary of the house. The elite architectural solution is the Breezeway Connection. Instead of sharing a wall, the main house and the ultimate garage are built 20 to 30 feet apart, and they are joined by a stunning, highly engineered breezeway. This structure acts as a physical and atmospheric airlock. Visually, the breezeway is treated as a high-end architectural feature. It is fully roofed, often featuring exposed timber trusses and rugged, beautiful flooring like bluestone or herringbone brick. But functionally, it is an impenetrable buffer. It features heavily insulated, weather-stripped doors on both ends. If a cloud of sawdust or exhaust fumes kicks up in the shop, it hits the breezeway and is completely stopped before it can ever reach the kitchen. Furthermore, the physical gap ensures that the deafening roar of a table saw or an impact wrench cannot vibrate through the structural framing of the main house. It provides absolute utility without ever compromising the pristine environment of the domestic spaces.
Now, let us step through those heavy doors and into the ultimate garage. When we use the word ultimate, we are not talking about a slightly larger 3-car garage where you can barely squeeze past your lawnmower. We are talking about a commercial-scale facility wrapped in a residential luxury shell.
The foundation of this space is its sheer volume. To truly build a dream shop, the ceiling height is non-negotiable. You must engineer the space with minimum 14 to 16-foot ceilings. This height is absolutely critical for two reasons. First, it allows for the installation of professional-grade 2-post and 4-post hydraulic car lifts, whether you're a serious mechanic needing to work under a chassis or a collector who needs to stack vehicles vertically to maximize storage. Towering ceilings are mandatory. Second, this immense height allows for the inclusion of a dedicated RV or boat bay. By incorporating a massive 14-foot high by 12-foot wide commercial garage door, you can pull a full-sized luxury motorhome or a center console fishing boat straight into a climate-controlled environment. Furthermore, to keep the space completely open and maneuverable, the roof must be constructed using massive engineered clear-span trusses. This eliminates the need for any load-bearing support columns in the center of the floor, giving you a massive, uninterrupted cavern of pure, unadulterated workspace. A world-class workshop is only as good as the foundation it sits on, and the flooring in an ultimate garage requires intense, specialized engineering. You absolutely cannot rely on a standard, basic concrete pour. Standard concrete is highly porous. It stains instantly when oil or chemicals spill, and it constantly releases a fine, gritty dust into the air that coats your tools and vehicles. The gold standard for the ultimate modern garage is a professional polyaspartic or high-build epoxy floor coating. Unlike cheap DIY paints, a true polyaspartic requires grinding the concrete with diamond blades to open the pores, then laying down a thick, chemically bonded resin. The result is a floor that is harder than the concrete itself. It is completely impervious to motor oil, brake fluid, and harsh chemicals. If you spill an entire gallon of black oil, you simply wipe it up with a paper towel, leaving zero stains. It is slip-resistant, reflects the overhead lighting beautifully, and turns the entire shop into a clean, dust-free showroom. But the engineering goes deeper than the surface. Before the concrete is even poured, visionary builders install a network of hydronic radiant floor heating tubes directly into the slab. In the dead of winter, the warm water circulating through the floor heats the massive volume of the garage from the ground up, keeping your feet and your vehicles perfectly warm without blowing dusty forced air around the room. Finally, a true ultimate garage must include deeply sloped commercial stainless steel trench drains. This allows you to pull a snow-covered truck or a muddy off-road vehicle directly into the shop, wash it down with a pressure washer, and watch the water disappear effortlessly into the floor.
If you are spending hours inside a workshop, the environment must be as comfortable and safe as the living room in your main house. The old-school method of relying on a rusty box fan and an open door is completely unacceptable in a luxury build. The ultimate garage must be treated as a fully conditioned, hyper-efficient envelope. Because the garage is separated from the main house, it requires its own dedicated HVAC system. The most efficient and popular solution is a multi-zone ductless mini-split system. These compact, whisper-quiet units can rapidly heat or cool the massive volume of air inside the shop, allowing you to wrench on a car in the middle of a sweltering August afternoon without breaking a sweat. To maximize this efficiency, the exterior walls and the massive ceiling vault must be heavily insulated with closed-cell spray foam, sealing the building tight and creating a perfect thermal barrier. But climate control is only half the battle. Air quality is paramount. If you are welding, painting, or running gas engines, you must have active ventilation. Elite shops feature commercial-grade high CFM exhaust fans integrated directly into the walls, capable of purging toxic fumes from the entire building in a matter of minutes.
And for the woodworkers, a central cyclone dust collection system is mandatory. Instead of dragging a shop vac around, an ultimate workshop features heavy-gauge metal ductwork permanently plumbed inside the walls, running directly to every major piece of equipment. When you turn on the table saw, the dust collector automatically engages, sucking the sawdust away before it ever hits the air, keeping your lungs safe and your exotic cars completely dust-free.
A large room is just a warehouse. What transforms it into the ultimate workshop is the specialized surgical integration of utilities and storage. You cannot simply plug industrial equipment into standard residential wall outlets. The electrical architecture of this space requires serious, heavy-duty engineering. An ultimate shop demands its own dedicated, high-amperage electrical subpanel. You must strategically place multiple 220-volt, 50-amp outlets around the perimeter of the room to power heavy machinery like industrial air compressors, TIG welders, and massive cabinet table saws. Furthermore, the modern shop eliminates the danger of extension cords scattered across the floor by installing retractable electrical reels and pneumatic compressed air lines that drop down directly from the ceiling, exactly where you need them. When it comes to storage, standard particle board garage cabinets will not survive. The Luxury Modern Farmhouse garage demands commercial-grade welded steel cabinetry systems. These modular units feature deep, full-extension drawers capable of holding hundreds of pounds of steel tools without sagging. The countertops must be built for abuse, utilizing massive slabs of thick maple butcher block for woodworking and heavy-gauge stainless steel for engine teardowns. To illuminate this highly technical workspace, designers are installing massive interlocking grids of hexagonal LED lights across the ceiling. These high-lumen, daylight-balanced fixtures bathe the entire shop in brilliant, shadowless light, ensuring that whether you are applying a final coat of paint or assembling a delicate transmission, you have surgical-level visibility. If you were building an outbuilding with a steeply pitched roof to match the modern farmhouse aesthetic, you are creating a massive amount of vertical volume. Brilliant architects do not let that space go to waste. They utilize the soaring trusses to build a second-story loft or a sprawling mezzanine that overlooks the shop floor. This space becomes the ultimate retreat, a sanctuary within a sanctuary. It acts as the command center of the compound. Because it is physically elevated and separated from the dirt and noise of the ground floor, it can be finished with the exact same high-end luxury materials as the main house. The front of the mezzanine is typically constructed entirely of frameless architectural glass, providing a breathtaking bird's-eye view of your vehicle collection or your current project below. It is frequently designed as the ultimate entertainment lounge, outfitted with rich, distressed leather seating, a state-of-the-art home theater system, and a custom wet bar featuring draft beer taps, wine refrigerators, and bespoke cabinetry. For the entrepreneur or the business owner, a section of this loft serves as a deeply inspiring home office. Imagine finalizing a massive business deal at your desk and simply looking through the glass down at the classic car you are restoring. It is a space that perfectly blends hard work, intense focus, and absolute uncompromising relaxation. Now, we must leave the smell of motor oil and sawdust behind, cross back through the breezeway, and step into the absolute pinnacle of domestic luxury. The entire philosophy of this compound is that there are no compromises. The main house must be just as spectacular, just as engineered, and just as awe-inspiring as the ultimate garage. The heart of the luxury modern farmhouse is the great room. This space takes the rustic, structural elements of a historic barn and refines them into pure elegance.
The ceilings are massively vaulted, completely opening up the visual volume of the home. Heavy, reclaimed timber trusses span the space overhead, providing deep, organic texture that contrasts perfectly against the crisp, museum-white drywall. The room is anchored by a monumental natural fieldstone fireplace that stretches 20 feet into the air, radiating warmth and historic permanence. But the true centerpiece of the home is the gourmet kitchen. This space is engineered for serious culinary performance while looking like a pristine work of art. The cabinetry is kept flawlessly simple, usually a classic shaker style in creamy whites or moody dark charcoal grays. The appliances are strictly high-end commercial grade, featuring massive gas ranges with custom forged metal ventilation hoods and integrated refrigerators completely hidden behind custom wood paneling. The kitchen island must be immense, often 10 to 12 feet long, topped with an indestructible, breathtaking slab of quartz or natural quartzite. It is a kitchen designed to host a massive Thanksgiving dinner just as effortlessly as it hosts a quiet Sunday morning coffee.
After a long, grueling day of welding custom exhaust pipes in the garage or running a business from the mezzanine office, you require a space dedicated entirely to physical and mental restoration. The master suite in a luxury modern farmhouse is designed specifically to act as an isolated, spa-like sanctuary. The bedroom itself is kept incredibly serene and uncluttered. It often features a vaulted ceiling finished with crisp horizontal white shiplap and a private wall of folding glass doors that open exclusively to the quietest, most secluded part of the property. But the true luxury lies in the ensuite bathroom. It is an exercise in absolute indulgence. The centerpiece is always a stunning freestanding soaking tub, strategically placed near a large window to allow for quiet contemplation. The shower is never a cramped fiberglass box. It is an immense, doorless wet room wrapped entirely in large format marble or natural stone tiles, featuring highly calibrated multi-zone rain shower heads and body sprayers finished in unlacquered brass or brushed gold. The vanities feature dual sinks set into thick stone counters, flanked by custom warm wood cabinetry and elegant vintage-inspired sconce lighting. It is an environment that actively lowers your heart rate, washes away the grime of the workshop, and wraps you in absolute, uncompromising luxury. To truly complete the design of this compound, we must look at how the home interacts with the landscape. The modern farmhouse aesthetic demands a deep, fluid connection to the outdoors. You do not just build a house and a garage, you build an environment. The rear of the main house is almost always defined by its massive wraparound covered porches and sprawling outdoor living rooms. Architects achieve a seamless transition by using massive multi-panel structural glass doors that vanish completely into hidden wall pockets. When these doors are open, the barrier between the indoor great room and the outdoor patio is completely erased, effectively doubling your entertainment space. These covered outdoor spaces are engineered for year-round enjoyment. They feature massive vaulted timber roofs equipped with high-velocity ceiling fans for the summer and integrated infrared commercial heaters for the winter. The outdoor kitchen rivals the indoor one, boasting heavy-duty gas grills, smokers, stainless steel refrigerators, and massive concrete prep counters. This outdoor sanctuary often acts as the physical bridge connecting the visual footprint of the main house to the towering architecture of the garage, creating a central courtyard that feels incredibly private, deeply luxurious, and perfectly unified.